Starting off my Full Metal Alchemist villains list is Envy. Envy is one of my favorite homunculus for good reasons. He can shapeshift into anybody that can like help and be a good influence on the other characters, or he can be just a total baddie with his fighting. Well, Envy is portrayed in the beginning of the series of the first one as disguising himself as Father Cornello. That because the people are all afraid that like their faith has been shaken and is causing an uproar in Lior. Now, also, Envy was a cause of like multiple stuff that happened in Full Metal Alchemist. Like, wasn't there like an episode with Red Water and the last episode where he impales Edward in the gut? And truly, this is not Envy's real form. His real form is a dragon, and he appears in the movie as well, but he dies. Um, Also, I actually forgot to mention what a homunculus is. They're like They're like monsters that were recreated from people's mistakes from trying to breaking the ultimate rule in alchemy is by the transmutating real humans. So this is like the end results. Like they fail. The person whoever did it fail, paid their price, but they create a homunculus. We're not sure where Envy came from. He might have came from some other guy. I'm not sure. But if you guys know where he came from, please write in the comments section. Our second homunculus, and I know where she comes from, and that would be Lust. Lust doesn't really fight in this series. She has those nail things, but she does like she'll just kill people and or just threaten them. She doesn't. Well, she only fights in the first series against Sloth, but also Lust is a reincarnation of Scar's brother's girlfriend. And reason I guess the reason why she's called Lust because the brother of Scar lusted over her and everything. She does help Scar in the end though, when he dies in the transmutation circle part. And I think yeah, she does die like towards the end. Like she was pinned up to this wall and like this girl named Lila talking to Owenheim a light, which by the way I forgot to add Owenheim. So bear with me. When I do my third video, I'll make sure I get Owenheim. Yeah, but she's not in it alone. Her and Envy and Gluttony are the big three main homunculus in the series. And speaking of Gluttony, here he is. Gluttony, really, we're not sure what his reincarnated character of the person was, but here's the thing: Gluttony loves to eat, not food, people. He's a freaking carnivore. What's a carnivore something? My words are off. But every time like lust or envy or somebody kills somebody, one of the homunculus killed another person, Gluttony would be like, "Can I eat him now, Lust?" And I like how sometimes Lust quote for that, like she'll say yes or no, you'll get indigestion. I'm like, I just start laughing. But he winds up eating the person. Like, you hear the chomping. I'm like, and this is not. Well, he has like this true form you see in the movie. It's this humongous giant form, and he's like eating like things. Like if you see the movie, it's pretty like great how the artisan rendition of it is. That's what I see. I like it. Now we're gonna get into not minor homunculus, but like homunculus that somewhat don't play a big role in the story. There are only a few that don't play a big. I think there's only one that doesn't play a big role, and that is Greed. Greed calls himself the ultimate shield because in his homunculus form, he has this transformation like it's this black suited thing, and no armor can penetrate him. The reason why Edward was able to kill Greed in the series was because he, I guess, disintegrated part of the armor and like started beating him up, and then impaled him in the end. But Greed has like a group of other people who are not homunculus. There was one with like flexible arms. I forgot her name. There was one of them. It's called Law. He's like this big guy with horns. And they kidnapped Al. He kidnapped Al single-handedly, and his friends. What I'm saying, he and his friends kidnapped Al. I mean, this guy was. Well, he was one of my favorite homunculus for like good reasons. Well, he's one of the favorites. He's not the best, the thing was, Greed was called the Ultimate Shield. What was kind of odd was like the fact that he got owned by Edward. I'm like, well, you're not much of an Ultimate Shield now, are we? Well, next and most adorable looking homunculus is Wrath, or Anger. I don't know which one. Wrath is actually created from Edward and Al's teacher, Mrs. Zumi. Her child that failed, and she lost all her insides. That's why she coughs up blood in the series. Um, what was pretty good, was pretty odd about Wrath was notice his arm and leg. That arm and leg is Edward's. He stole Edward's arm and leg. I mean, I like how he mimicked the voice of Edward. He's like, "Give me back my brother! Give me back my brother!" The fool already sacrificed his leg, so I thought I'd take something else from him. His arm. He was actually the main reason why Edward became who he is today. He's the bane of Edward's existence. Next is Fuhrer Bradley, or more commonly known as Pride. This guy in the beginning, he's like a really happy guy. And I mean, when he killed this girl in Owl's suit of armor, he was like super happy or so. He was like, stabs her and all that crud. And he is known as Pride, and the homunculus symbol is on his eyes. That's why he wears the eye patch. I mean, plus, he's a good swordsman. Darn good swordsman, to be exact. He fights Roy Mustang in the end of the series. That almost cost Roy his life. That fight almost cost Roy his life. The other guy that I'm going to mention later on cost Roy an eye. He's not a homunculus, though. But Fuhrer Bradley got the respect of everybody. But nobody knew he was a homunculus except for like a few people. Some were on his side, some were against him. All in all, this guy was a baddie. Next is Sloth, or as I like to call her, Trisha Elric. That's right. The boy's mother is one of the main villains in the series. We find this out, well, commonly because the face, if you look at her face really closely, she resembles Edward and Al. Now, she was created from the boy's mistake of trying to save her, and her abilities, I guess I should have explained, was the fact that she can control water. She's like Percy Jackson, except without all the whole Olympian thing. But she wears those spaghetti straps, dress, and all that. But she was killed. I mean, it's kind of sad. I mean, killing your own mother. That's going somewhere. That's going somewhere. Okay, off to home topic of homunculus. I go into one of my other favorite villains, Scar. I like saying it like that. Scar is a agent of God, and he basically wants to kill all state alchemists. His plan? Blow their flipping heads out using alchemy. You're the one saying you should kill all these people? You're the one using alchemy. Or so, let me get this straight. You're using alchemy to save everyone or to kill everyone. And also, his arm is part of a transmutation circle that creates that created the main thing the boys were after, the Philosopher's Stone. Scar's death. Scar got that big scar in his head from Crimbley, and which I also forgot. I will add those two guys next on my next video and add my final thoughts on it and plot twist maybe. So, with all due respect, Scar was my favorite. He broke Al and Ed. I mean, that's saying something. Next is Frank Archer. I know you're like, does he really look like that in the series? Yes, he does. The thing is, he was really human. And then when I first met him, I thought he was a vampire. I'm not lying. I thought he was a vampire. Now with all that Edward Cullen and stuff, you can't trust pale white people. Well, Frank Archer lost half of his body in the incident with the transmutation circle that created the Philosopher's Stone. He also knew that Fuhrer Bradley was a homunculus, but he obeyed the orders like he was taking it from a human. Now, what happened was, he almost destroyed Central headquarters, nearly killed Missy Zume, shot Roy's eye out. This guy withstood everything, and one of the funniest questions was, How can he withstand a bullet from the back from Riza Hawkeye? That is one of life's greatest mysteries. Join me in a few minutes for my final thoughts on two characters.